Zenscape.
Hi everyone, my name is Shawn. Welcome to Zenscape. And today, as part of our Women in Aquascaping series, we are going to talk to Mary of Urban Shrimps about her aquascaping journey. Yeah, hi Mary. Thank you. Thank you so much for having us here today.
Hi Shawn.
I just love your store. Anyway, I just wanted to say so many beautiful shrimp, beautiful scapes. I noticed that your main, you keep a lot of shrimps for sure. But maybe you can share a little bit about aquascaping specifically. How did you get into it, or when did you get into it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming to interview me today.
No worries.
So I'm Mary, and I'm the founder of Urban Shrimps. Streamkeeping is my hobby, and so is aquascaping. Yeah. How do I get into this hobby is actually my husband. He was the one who influenced me into this hobby. How it started is one day when we moved over to a new place, he suggested that we should have something like an aquarium at home. I thought to myself, it's an interesting idea, something that I've never done before. So I did some research, and then we went to get some materials. So we ended up with like a 4-foot tank in our house. Yeah. So with all the aquascaping materials, I started to do up something which is 4 feet. But over some time, I realized that a 4-foot tank is actually quite tedious to maintain. Yeah, then because we got carried on with life as such and stuff like that. So we kind of like decommissioned the tank after some time lah. Yeah.
And is the tank here now somewhere?
The 4-foot tank, no, then we sold it away already. We gave it away lah.
Right.
So during that period of time, he actually got into streamkeeping because we eventually found out that streamkeeping is actually requires lesser space, and less work also lah, in terms of the maintenance.
Yeah, like lower bio load.
Correct.
They poop less also.
And then because shrimps, they are scavengers, so they kind of like clean up the tank themselves.
That's true.
So not much work to be done on a daily basis.
So like when you first started, did you refer to anything like YouTube videos, or in terms of scaping, how do you know how to go about it? Was there someone to guide you along?
Actually, the person I consulted will be Google lah.
Okay.
I just online research and find some photos.
Google knows everything.
Yeah. And then I will just choose the design that I like. Then I try to replicate it.
Oh, okay. So you would look at the videos, try and find the materials in stores and all that.
Yeah, correct.
Try and just do the same thing basically.
Yes. Doesn't have to be exactly the same, but the
inspiration.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So what is one thing about aquascaping that you love most, that you find is your greatest joy?
I think that would be the freedom that I have to like create something just out of my mind. Yeah.
Understand.
So it's basically just thinking out of the box and putting what you like together. Yeah.
So in your aquascaping journey, what has been your greatest challenge? Like the thing that you found most difficult?
The challenge that I have is actually because shrimps, they require certain water parameters. So we have to be very particular about what we will put into the tank. So certain types of plants and certain types of rocks, all these, those might not be suitable for shrimps. So I have to like come to find a balance whereby we can balance out what to put into the tank, which doesn't affect the livestock inside.
Could you give an example of, let's say, a plant or a rock that's not suitable for this kind of shrimpscape?
Usually for cereal rocks, because it will
increase the hardness.
They will increase the hardness of the water, so that might not be suitable for shrimps.
Because there's like less control in a way, is it? Like if you put cereal rocks, it ends up increasing too much.
Yeah, correct.
Then you find it
because
difficult to manage.
Shrimps, they require softer water. So we tend to lean more towards using lava rocks. Because it's pH inert as well. It doesn't affect the water.
Okay.
Then our concept for aquascaping is actually to create something that is practical and then low maintenance, easy to maintain. The plants that I use are all low tech. Yeah. Then we don't use fertilizer, we don't use CO2. So for everyday people, it's actually very easy to maintain.
Right. Yeah, I can see that this dwarf hairgrass, is it?
Yeah.
And tripartita or what is this plant at the back? This one.
This one is German seaweed.
Okay,
So apparently the shrimps like this kind of moss pretty. They pretty much love this kind of moss.
Right. Because there's a lot of surface area, right, to climb and to munch on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I found that even in your store, not just here, that you have a lot of beautiful busiest as well.
Yeah, correct. So
beautiful.
these are the plants that I usually use for the shrimps.
And what are these floating plants out there?
These floating plants are frog beets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
It's actually quite popular, and then the way the roots grow, right, it's quite natural.
Yeah.
So
and it provides more, places for the shrimp to
to cling on like Tarzan like that.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, one is
Yeah.
already doing that. Yeah, very beautiful. What aspect of aquascaping currently in your current season are you most interested in, or learning more about, or like just spending more time diving into? Is there anything?
The next thing that I want to do will be to create like waterfall effect.
Okay.
Then I thought it would also be nice for shrimps to like crawl onto the rocks.
Okay.
Those kind of effect I think will be quite
see.
cool. So
Right.
yeah, the next part that I will be moving on will be to like look into how can I create this kind of effect.
Have you managed to learn anything so far that you found is quite interesting about it?
Not yet.
Right.
It's just an idea, but I
Okay,
haven't
okay,
really
okay.
dived into it yet.
Got it. Yeah. So you're talking about also like building kind of like a backdrop of rocks and things like that.
Yeah, correct.
Wow.
Yeah, so it creates a more 3D feel also, and not just like on the ground.
Yeah.
Because if you look, that one is not really very 3D.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. I think, I mean, one aspect of aquascaping that I also love is in a way is this like engineering aspect where if you want to say create a waterfall, then you have to learn a bit about flow rate. You have to know about how to the placement, size, and positioning of pipes and things like that. So like, it's not just a creative artistic thing. Like there's this engineer aspect that needs to also like rise up and learn about how to create the scape, right?
Yeah,
So I
agree.
think that's quite interesting. I guess you're probably aware that aquascaping is quite male dominated, meaning it's a lot of males in it. And, for some reason, I mean, women are less so, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you can share a little bit about your thoughts on why that's the case, and also how do you feel, does it affect you as a woman in this field of aquascaping? Yeah.
Actually, I'm not sure why is it
Okay.
a case that is more male dominant in this industry. But generally, I as a female, I don't feel any different, and no pressure also, because our customers and other hobbies, they are pretty much quite helpful. And then when they come in, they will just also give ideas and some feedback and share some useful knowledge with me as well. So no different feeling.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's mostly still positive. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
affect you in any way.
Yeah, correct.
Oh, that's
correct.
great.
Yeah.
I guess it's quite a good thing that in the hobby, most people are quite open and willing to share and give knowledge.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
I
really
think this is
important.
the fun part of the hobby as well.
The
It's more about
community, right?
exchanging ideas.
Ideas or like information, knowledge, right?
Yeah, correct.
True. And also I think being able to give feedback to one another about your scape. Oh, I think you should trim this part. I think you should. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that makes it very fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it helps to improve the scape as well. It's like nothing
Definitely.
personal, but something to like, make it even nicer.
Yeah,
and it could
yeah.
be something that you have never thought of before also.
Yeah, and to take constructive criticism that way.
Yeah, correct.
Will help us grow also,
Yeah.
I guess, right? Wow, okay. Yeah, so maybe we can talk a little bit about this scape that we are featuring. Maybe do you have, when you first started, I guess, do you have an idea of how did it come about this way, basically, from the beginning?
Actually, my way of scaping is just to go with the flow.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I first started off, I don't really have any ideas in mind, but I'll just look at the materials I have, then try to piece them together to see how they look like. Yeah.
So you start off looking at what's available and then deciding the best way to configure it.
Yeah, like the orientation, and which one, whether to put it at the foreground or background.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you decided, for example, to have the driftwood a little slightly back and then the foreground being grass, like did you have a picture in your mind, or was it like, oh, let's just place here, nicely, that kind of thing?
Yeah, it's just go with the flow.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Right. And I just think it's really interesting, how you managed to tie it to the rocks and things like that. Were these rocks like just kind of like you just place it there, or is it very intentional? Because you say go with the flow, it sounds like spontaneous, right?
Yeah.
But
And
are there some,
I don't actually complete the tank like at one go. So it's like after I come up with something first, then maybe like over a few days I will think of some ideas what additional plants to add to like improve it. Yeah. So
Okay.
if you talk about this kind of busiest plants on the lava rocks, these are subsequently things that I added in.
I see. And it wasn't there at the start. It wasn't like part of your concept. It's just
No, because
Yeah.
I also have to wait for the tank to cycle first. Yeah.
Understand. Wow, that's great. And just a quick word on the algae. I actually enjoy the look of having some algae on the wood. Even though for some reason, I guess in the industry somehow there are many people who are like very scared of algae and
Yeah, that's
want to
right.
do everything they can to prevent it, right? And although I get the value of that, but at the same time, personally, I enjoy the aged look. Like it feels like it's been there a while and it makes it look natural, right?
Yeah,
Do you
correct.
agree?
It's like in the nature, there's also, if you look at the tree, there will be also like
Yes.
some leaves or plants growing on the trunk. So it's something similar.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah.
a natural phenomenon.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. So I think,
Yeah.
I mean, even though it wasn't intentional,
Yeah.
but I guess good job with
Yeah, thanks.
with creating a place that,
Yeah, correct.
all sorts of organisms can thrive. Yeah,
Yes. So it's more like an natural ecosystem. And in fact, shrimps, they enjoy feeding on algae, feeding on to algae.
Right. Yes. So as a shrimp keeper, what are some, I guess, key tips you might want to share about shrimp keeping? Because to some people they may feel like shrimp keeping is very difficult, or there's a lot of parameters to keep track of and things like that. Is that true? And maybe you can share some of your knowledge as well about that.
I think not just about shrimp keeping, but maybe as an aquarium hobby as a whole. The most important thing is to enjoy the hobby.
Yes.
Yeah, correct. So don't really have to keep fussing over the water parameters.
Okay, right. Thank you so much, Mary, for having us today.
Thank you.
That's all we have for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any thoughts on shrimp keeping, please comment down below as well. Thank you.